Do you like high strategy war games with fantasy elements? Well, WarBonds Battle for Vitoria is crowdfunding soon, and you're going to want to take a look at it. Let me tell you why. So hi, my name is Charlie, I'm with Tabletop Gaming, and we are doing a crowdfunding preview today of WarBonds. Now, we're the crowdfunding preview that has thankfully been sponsored by the creators of WarBonds, thanks very much. We would normally be opening up the box, taking a look at what's inside, and giving you a feel of the sort of things that are in there. But today we have also played through this game in a video that you'll find shortly on our YouTube. I will pop a link once it's up and ready to go. That means that we have the board fully set out with everything included, and we have some cool elements here to show you. So I think there's some really fun aspects that will just give you snippets of information, a bit of an idea of this crowdfunding opportunity, and give you an idea of whether maybe you should sign up for their newsletter and get your pledge in soon. So without further ado, this is very highly themed. It is great fun. They are warlords that you're going to be playing as. So this, for example, is Targus the Unchained. Now, he is a chaotic evil character. He has a lot of stats and such that you'll start to recognize very quickly once you've played it a few times, and this gives us some extra bonuses. Now, he's chaotic evil, he can call on evil characters. You see, it makes sense, but also can use neutral ones, just not good. Conversely, our good character in the examples that I'm giving at the moment is this guy. I don't really know how to say, Vagabond Golyar Aelbreth. No, I do know how to say it, and he can only call on good characters or neutral characters, so you can see the differences there. Now, these guys would like to fight to the death. It's understandable in a war game that there's going to be some conflict, and with that they can also try and destroy each other's camps as a method of victory. Now, there are 3 different paths to victory, so how you want to play is entirely up to you, but I very much prioritise the get to the warlord, kill the warlord style of play, because it's fun. But there are lots of little variations between each of them, so you can really customise how you want to play based on how you like to play, the characters that you tend to lean towards, the alignments that you'd like to try, or, like I did, try something very different. Now, how am I going to do that? Okay, so I can't do this on my own. I will be calling upon my army. Now, those I'm going to summon different units for, and I'm going to basically create my own custom army every time I play. Now, those, I have a multitude to choose from, a multitude of different options, different play styles. The units that I'm calling can do different things. Some can heal, some attack, some will be better defenders, some are ranged attacks, some aren't, and my choice then is what I want to make that up from. So when you're playing in the early version of the rules, so we're playing the apprentice rules, which is sort of, you have apprentice rules and master rules, you are limited by the number of sort of player tokens you have, so in this case 6. Now, choosing those 6 carefully, do you go for a spread of different ones? Do you go for all of the same, so you have a consistency in movement or in actions? It's entirely up to you. It's entirely how you want to play, and that's part of the fun of it. But of all the many different kinds of units available to me, from angels to undead to all sorts, my favourite were the crows. I thought the crows were beautifully thematic. Now, I'll show you a couple of these so you can get an idea of the sort of thing. So these are the domesticated corvus. I picked the murder card, but we also have the little anarchists. And on top of that, we have vermin bombers, who are, as you guessed it, bombers. You can put those as aerial units that will then attack. So it might be that they drop a bomb that has a splash radius, for example, to cause extra damage. Wonderful. Now, that's something that I love about this, is obviously you can see the board in front of me where you'll place things and you'll move them round to the right place to try and get either close to those camps or to those warlords. But when you're flying, you get to go onto one of these. It takes 1 movement to launch into the skies. There's my little crows there, and they then live atop there. And all of the thematic things that work with that go as you would expect. So they can fly over your unit, so you can occupy technically 2 spaces by them being over the top. They are harder to hit because you're aiming from up unless there are other aerial units. Everything plays in, considering how much stuff there is here, everything plays in very well thematically. Everything has a purpose and a reason for why you're doing it. Of course they're crows, so they can fly. Of course they're aerial bombers with wings, so they're gonna fly. They're angels, so they're gonna fly. It's a nice little extra. added in small things, again small things, but there are roads on the board in specific places, and they seem very well thought out based on whereabouts on the board you'd want to be, that grant you a little bit of extra movement. You've got different camps that you can try and head to try and keep in place so that you can get more and more of your people, your units out. And with those units, you need to consider their loyalty. Are they loyal to you, or are they going to run away at the first hurdle? What can you do to make that better? What can you do to increase that? Is your leadership good enough? And then with that, you have options. So as turns go on, it might be that you can bid some of your leadership risky to get extra bonuses. It might be that you can increase your loyalty by doing certain actions which you may want to take. You're constantly trying to outthink the other people around the board in this really intense strategy and collusion of cool ideas. And whilst there is a lot to it, there's a lot of stages, there's lots of things to think about. Once your head is in it, it's all you can think about. There is so much going on that you can go, oh, okay, they've got that character, but that's an aerial character, but they're on the ground at the moment. If I can get mine into the sky quicker, I could possibly do this. Or what if I get close enough and I challenge them to a duel? All of these options are sort of fun interceding little versions of themselves. And as things go on, more things change. There are more characters on the board. There are more opportunities for you to bring out funky choices. There's more attack options available to you because you've collected more things. Your loyalty is higher. You're willing to sacrifice loyalty to pay for other things. What I'm saying is this is a very push and pull game of lots of choice, decision and strategy. Now some elements are typical fantasy, so there is a lot that you can lean into and go, okay, well I understand this. So if I have the choice between acid damage, for example, and physical damage, I will have a look and be like, oh, well, okay, you've got resistance to physical damage, so we're going to go for acid damage. For example, it's playing the game a little bit, but actually you might have a resistance to something else to make that better or worse or harder. A lot of thinking in a lot of fun ways. Get your right units into the right place for the ultimate success. Ah, it's a dream. And just in case the beady-eyed amongst you have spotted the dice on the table, they are very proud to say that there is no luck elements within this. This is all about your strategy. These are just sort of health markers, so how much health you've lost to keep a track of those. And whilst, yes, there is a lot here, there's a lot that you're getting for what you're paying for. This box is jam-packed full of stuff. Everything sort of makes sense after a couple of rounds. You've got a full idea of what's going on, you know what you can do, you know which sort of units you want to come out, and when you get to the end, win or lose, you kind of want to go back and go, but what if I got more of these out? What if I got more healers in the right place at the right time? What if I used this camp to do that with rather than this? Very, very intricate and very cleverly done. Now, of course, this is a crowdfunding copy, which means it might change a little bit before it gets to your table. Rules are in beta, etc., etc. There may be a couple of differences that come to it, so just be aware of that. But it does have this very typical fantasy style, so you know what you're expecting. You're seeing this sort of artwork across the front, made as these sort of books. So if I show you the back of that as well, it feels like you've got an old tome of information of all that included in there. And that's before even the dragon passes. So whilst you're moving yourself around the board, trying to take out the other warlord or the other camp, bringing out your units for the perfect amalgamation of things to be able to do it with, hopefully you'll win, in which case, great success, well done. But you want to find out if you're a winner? You'll have to sign up to their newsletter and see. We'll pop a link in the description that will give you all the information you need on where to go, how to sign up for updates, and head over to Kickstarter and make sure that you are keeping an eye on that crowdfunding if this is a game that would interest you. Now, I would love to hear in the comments your thoughts on this, and as always, thank you so much for watching. It's very much appreciated. Stay tuned on our channel because we'll have a playthrough ready for you shortly, and I'll pop a link to that in the description once it's ready for you as well. But happy gaming, and thanks so much for watching.